Joining me today is Michael York, who's the Acting Director of the New Hampshire Department of Cultural Resources. Michael, thanks so much for being here.
Nice to see you.
The Department of Cultural Resources, it sounds like it covers everything, but I'm sure it's not everything. But can you tell us a little bit about what are the main functions under
Sure.
Cultural Resources?
It covers a lot, but it doesn't cover everything. There are 4 divisions in the Department of Cultural Resources. In state government, we have that hierarchical arrangement. There's departments and then divisions within the departments. The State Library is one of the divisions. The New Hampshire Council on the Arts is a second division. The third is the Division of Historical Resources. And the newest of our divisions is the Division of Film and Media, Film and Media. These departments serve the entire state. Each of us obviously has a very specific constituency as well. In the Division of Libraries, our primary statutory responsibility is to serve the 234 public libraries in the state, and we provide many services to those libraries. For example, we receive the federal funds that come to the state for library services from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, the federal agency, and we use those to improve library services around the state.
Our libraries, and I'm going to circle back to the libraries in another segment, but just briefly, the various town libraries throughout the state, is the role of library changing?
Oh, it is. We often say it's constantly evolving. Libraries have to be relevant, so as things change, libraries adapt. Years ago, we moved, for example, in the 80s, libraries started to started to provide videotapes, VHS tapes, etc.
And I'm sure they may have some.
And still have, many still have them. It's hard to find a machine to run them, but they do have many of them have the tapes. They're getting rid of them. You'll see a lot of them at book sales, as a matter of fact. But currently, libraries are obviously moving aggressively into the digital age, and I can talk more about this later. But we're moving aggressively to help them with that by forming consortia, etc. So libraries are always adapting. One of the things that's happening with libraries, you'll see it with the newer libraries, and we have brand new libraries, for example, in Sunapee. We have a new library in Hudson and a new one in Guilford. These are not additions to existing libraries. These are brand new
Standalone structures, yeah.
And what is happening is that as we move into more digital content, we have less need for stack space, obviously. We still have lots of our materials in the printed word on paper and will for a while, but we're obviously moving in that direction. I usually say we're moving in that direction because everything is born digital. It now becomes a matter of whether you want to read it on paper or whether you want to read it digitally, and sometimes people get it both ways. They will get an email, and they will read it at their desk, but they'll also copy it and stick it in their pocket in case they have need for it later on. So because everything is born digital, we're moving in that direction unrelentingly. We will be all digital at some point. I can't tell you when that will be, but I can tell you that it will be. Libraries now are using either the existing space that they have because they're perhaps removing parts of their collections for other activities. More meeting space, for example. Many of our libraries are getting into what's known as maker space opportunities for their patrons.
Yeah, no, the Wilmot Library, the small town I'm familiar with, they really focused on the maker space,
right,
where it's a place for people to do things.
Right, and that's one of our roles as well. We have a technology librarian, Bobby Slosar, in our operation, who is working with libraries to introduce them to
the various roles they can do. Yeah.
Right.
Michael, I'm out of time in this segment, but when we return, we're going to continue our conversation focusing on the Council of Arts and Film and Media divisions. So please stay with us.